All right, so very quickly, I'm gonna demonstrate on how to install your pop-up drain or pop-up assembly. Here's a very basic 1¼ inch pop-up drain from Home Depot. And basically all you need is your hands, some channel locks, and some plumber's putty. So step one, obviously you want to take this out. So once you've taken them out, you're basically left with these pieces here. And we won't really need them unless if it's not compatible with this faucet. So we're gonna go ahead and try that, but we're gonna leave this to the side for now. You're just left with this. All right, so what you wanna do is you wanna begin to take these pieces apart. All right, and then you're left with these 3 pieces. You don't wanna take these out because these are gonna be important and they need to be here anyways. What you wanna do is lower them like I did. Make sure it's as low as possible. This is almost at the last thread, and this is as low as I could push this rubber piece. So first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna grab this piece and you are going to remove this. You're gonna put some plumber's putty around this part. And then you can just screw it back on, or you could just leave it on, either way works. And then when you install it, so like so, you wanna make sure that you don't put it that close to the thread. That way it can actually thread back into the piece. So then what you want to do is you want to take this piece, making sure that this side is facing backwards. You want to go from the bottom, like so, and then basically just wait for that, and then you put this piece over and you screw it in. All right, so once that's in, go ahead and make sure that it's as far as it goes. And then make sure that the piece behind is facing backwards, like I said. And then what you want to do is start tightening this. All right, so this is where your channel locks come into play. You could go ahead and hold this with your hand, and then with the other piece, you just tighten it. So right now you can actually hand tighten it just a little bit, just so it's snug. And then when you start to realize that you can't anymore with your hands, go ahead and pull out your channel locks and start tightening, like so. All right, so that's tightened and you're just left with this piece. And for added safety, when you're dealing with plumbing, you always want to put Teflon tape over your threads. You can see the threads here. And you just go the way that it is. So you go clockwise, basically. So if you're looking at it like this, clockwise, the way that you tighten it. Because if you do it the other way, it'll come loose when you start tightening it. So it looks like so. And then you just go ahead and you just put it in there. And you screw it in. Make sure to take your time when you're putting in the thread, because if you put it in wrong and you tighten it where it's not supposed to be tightened, you can ruin the threads, and then you basically gotta throw this piece out and get a new one and start over. So because this is snug, you can just hand tighten this. All right, so you're left with that. So once you're done with that, you can go ahead and start with this. However, oops. can actually see here that this piece right here probably won't fit here. So basically you just put this in to this and then it tightens. So once you remove the other one, this is where your pieces come into play. You won't need to use this just because it already has it right here in the back, as you can see. So you can put this away. And what you do is you unscrew this in order to fit it through the circle here. So you kind of just like so. And you want to, once you get your height that you want, you go ahead and just tighten this screw back. So you just tighten this guy right here. But before doing that, go ahead and slide this guy off. Don't lose this piece, this is really important. So you just keep this and put this to the side. And you want to put this guy like this. So long piece, short piece, you put it like this. So this cups around here like this. Okay, and then you put it in this way. You want to just put it in not completely hard, because in a minute you're going to be removing that piece. So just put it like so. Then so you see here, can't really tell, but anyways, you slide this stick into one of these holes at the same time sliding this through here. All right, so once you got that right there, that's in there, secured. And then this is pretty much, you can just, pull out. You want to put this guy onto this piece. Not the best angle, right? This guy into this piece. Then you take this guy into this piece right here. Okay. So, kind of like that. Right? So, like this guy first, then this one. Then you want to put this stick here, this metal stick, and you want to put it there. So you wrap it around like that. So you're left with something like that. Screws tight up there, pushing against there so it doesn't come loose. This is connected to this piece like so. Like so. And that's actually the piece that controls the stopper right here. So you can see down in there, there's the stick that you put inside. If I can get it to focus a little bit better, maybe not. You wanna put this backwards, like this, facing like this way, back, and you wanna put that stick into here. All right, so then once you find your way, obviously you unscrewed it, so you put it back. In theory, this should fix that. This should control it, and you can see here that it does. And all this excess plumber's putty, you just go ahead and take it off. Comes off pretty easily. All right, so now that that works, you're left with these pieces right here. And this is a bigger washer, this is a smaller washer. This is not the right sized pipe for this. It's a little bit bigger, so then you want to use your thicker washer. All right, so you take your piece. This guy right here acts as a washer or a gasket already. So you go ahead and just put it like this, right? Then you go ahead and put this backwards. So you want to make sure that the thread faces down, and then you want to put the thread facing the other way. So they're opposite from each other. Then, as I mentioned, you usually would put this one, but because it's a little bit thicker, you go ahead, you take your thicker washer or gasket, and you're gonna end up with this. So threads on this side, no thread, no thread, threads on this side. And then you can go ahead and just put it in like so. So I actually forgot to mention, this nut actually has to be bigger than the other one, so it'll fit that one there. Because if you put the other one, it's just not gonna fit. So then you go ahead and slide this piece, this nut first, then the gasket, slide it up. Then you're left with this piece. As you can see here, this part would go here, and then this part would just slide in, but there's too much of a gap. So what you'd need is an extension so that it can reach to this lip right here. So putting this to the side, this is what you need. Same thing, you already have it set up. You just slide it in. Then you're left with this. But then you might run into another problem where now if you slide it up, it's too long. So what you want to do is find the place where it fits good, and you want to cut there. So let's say I fit there, I want to cut around this area here. And you need one of these tools to cut it. Then just put your pieces back and you slide that up. And then you're stuck with this. So fits perfectly. And you just want to make sure everything is hand tightened as much as possible. And check for leaks, and you're pretty much done. So here's the test. Oops. Don't forget to turn on the water supply.